at Foodie. If you remember a few videos back, I made lasagna, and I said there was a way to also make some Mexican lasagna. So that's what we're going to do today. We're going to make a Mexican lasagna. And it's pretty much the same process, just a little bit different ingredients. It'll be a little bit more spicy. So the first thing we want to do is to get our lasagna noodles boiled. I've got a big pot of salted water getting ready to boil. And also, if you remember from my lasagna video, I'm using a little bit smaller of a pan. I'm using a 2-quart baking pan rather than a full lasagna pan. So I'm only going to boil about 6 or 7 of the lasagna noodles. If you're using a full lasagna pan, go ahead and use 10 or 12, or maybe even a full box of noodles. Okay, we got our water vigorously boiling, and like I said, I'm making a little bit smaller of a batch, so I'm going to put in 6, or I'll put in 7 just in case one of them breaks. 2, so that's actually a little bit less than a half a box. What the heck, I'll put in 8. So cook the lasagna according to whatever is on your box. The box I have is to cook for 8 minutes. I like to use the regular lasagna, not the pre-cooked. I think it works a little bit better. So we'll cook this for 8 minutes, and we'll put it on a pan. Let it cool off while we make the Mexican sauce. Okay, the 8 minutes is up. So I'm going to pull out the lasagna noodles. I'm just going to use a pair of tongs. Next step is, while these are cooling off, we will make the Mexican sauce. I've got my stove on a medium heat. I'm going to put in 1 pound of ground beef. I've got about 1 small to medium finely chopped onion, and 1/2 of a green bell pepper chopped. Now, if you want this, fiery hot, you could put in some fresh chopped jalapenos. I'm not going to make this too hot today. A little salt, pepper to taste. I'm going to go ahead and add some garlic powder. You could add fresh garlic if you wanted. I just don't have it done. I try to make these meals where you can prepare them pretty quick and not too much time to make them. All right, we'll fry this up until it's nice and brown. So I've got my ground beef mixture browned. I put it in a colander, squeezed as much grease out as I could, patted it with a paper towel, and also wiped out the pan. Just because I don't like it too greasy. So far this has been exactly like making the normal Italian lasagna. So now we'll start doing some things a little bit different. I've got you just use your favorite taco seasoning mix and follow the instructions on that. So in this particular case, I'm going to add in 2/3 cup of water. We will stir that down until some of that liquid evaporates. We'll have some nice spicy ground beef mixture. A lot of this, it just depends on how spicy you like your foods. So like today, I'm using a mild enchilada sauce we'll end up pouring in here. You could have used a mild enchilada sauce and then put some red pepper flakes. You could put jalapenos, a layer of jalapenos in this if you really like it spicy. So it's all, a lot of this is all to your taste. So now I'm going to stir in a 15-ounce can of enchilada sauce. And it looks like I opened up the mild, so we'll use the mild today. And again on this sauce, we're going to kind of make it like a spaghetti sauce like we did with the regular lasagna. So this is going to have to boil down quite a bit. And I'm going, just because even on Mexican food, I like a strong tomato taste, so I'm going to put in a can of tomato paste in here, and that'll thicken it up a little bit. 6-ounce can of tomato paste. Okay, we'll stir in that tomato paste. And actually, I've never made this before. I just kind of, off the top of my head, I'm sure there's lots of recipes out there for something similar to this. But, so this is going to be new to me also here today. Yeah, now it's looking pretty good. It's getting to be more like a spaghetti sauce consistency. So I'm going to let this go ahead and simmer for another 5 minutes or so, just to get a little bit thicker of a sauce. Okay, for our cheese mixture, we're just going to do the same thing we did for the regular lasagna. I got a 15-ounce tub here of whole milk ricotta. I kind of looked around for some Mexican kind of cheese that was at the same consistency, and I couldn't find it. I'm sure there is. So if anybody knows, I saw the Mexican cottage cheese, and it just, I don't know, it didn't look like it was going to work good. So if anybody knows of a Mexican cheese that's a nice soft consistency like this, let me know. And then a 1/4 cup of grated Parmesan cheese and 1 egg. I'll just pour that in there and mix it up. I'm going to take my, like I said, I'm using a smaller one. I'm using my 2-quart baking dish. I want to spray the bottom with some cooking spray just so the noodles don't stick. Let's put a little bit of sauce on the bottom of the baking pan just to double precaution so that the noodles don't stick. We'll put 2 lasagna noodles down. Because that's a pretty good fit for me. If you have a regular lasagna pan, you'll probably need 3 noodles per layer. The last time I made the Italian lasagna, it's easier to spread the cheese on the noodle and then put the tomato sauce on. Now we can spread a layer of the tomato sauce. And I'm going to get, last time it was 3 layers. And I had a pretty full pan. So you can kind of eye that as you're using your ingredients to make sure you got enough for 3 layers. Yeah, last time we used mozzarella cheese for the Italian lasagna. This time I got some Oaxaca cheese. It's called melting cheese. So we're going to slice this on it instead of the mozzarella, and we'll see what it turns out. Here's a good view of it. So we'll put 1 layer of this cheese. We'll just repeat next layer. for this layer, let's go ahead, since we only have one more layer, I'm gonna pour on some of this Mexican blend shredded cheese. What I also thought, to make this a little more Mexican, I'm gonna put in a little layer of sliced black olives. Cover every little square inch with this Mexican blend of grated cheese. All right, so I'm going to preheat my oven to 375. I'm going to cover this with some foil. And I remember last time when I made the Italian lasagna, some of that foil, the cheese got stuck on the foil. So I'm going to make a little tent over it so that the cheese doesn't stick to it. All right, so we'll put this in the oven, 375. I'm going to bake it for maybe 45 minutes. Yes, my tent worked this time. This Mexican cheese looks like it's going to work really perfect in there. All right, so we're going to let this cool off for maybe 10 minutes so we can get some nice, good cuts of lasagna. We're going to top it with a little bit of fresh cilantro. And then, of course, I have some crema mexicana. We're going to put a little bit of that on top. And, you know, if you wanted to, you could top this with salsa, pico de gallo, guacamole would be good. We're going to stick today just with cilantro and the Mexican sour cream. All right, so let's cut off a couple pieces. Bit of this crema mexicana. I'm going to just drizzle a little bit. This is a little bit thinner than regular American sour cream, but I think it's got a nice rich flavor and a real smooth texture. You might even like this, Catherine. It's not quite as sour as sour cream. And we'll sprinkle with a little bit of cilantro, just to give it that Mexican look. All right.
Sounds like me. Try. Give me a try. Very good.
Yeah, and we're gonna have a lot left over. We'll put some in the freezer. Try mine, see if you like that Mexican sour cream better than American sour cream. To me, it's more richer and not as sour.
That's good.
Yeah. All right. 4 thumbs up. 2 from Catherine, 2 from me.
Hi.
Oh, this is so good. And it's way different than Mexican lasagna. I know some people do like an enchilada casserole where it's similar to this, but they layer it with corn tortillas. And this really gives it a lot more body, having the pasta noodles in there. I used the mild enchilada sauce, kind of by mistake. I was going to use the medium, and I think the medium would make it even a little bit more spicy. Probably exactly what I was looking for. I'll give it 2 thumbs up. And if you like this video, you give me a 2 thumbs up. And please subscribe to Ed Foodie. Thank you.